question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Moreno, who has escaped, I'd like to point out that he and I are trying to work on something here so that we can add more revenue to the Highway Trust Fund. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you for your leadership on that issue, Senator Fisher. I would love to review that bill if I'm not already on it. So I will recognize Senator Klobuchar.
Okay, thank you. And I heard the beginning of your testimony there, Mr. Spear, when I was here earlier, and you were talking about cargo theft, correct? As you know, we've held a hearing in this subcommittee on the growing threat of cargo theft. Often involves high-value retail goods, but not always. One dairy protein export company in Minnesota has reported an average of 1 to 3 break-ins per month just for containers of dry milk powder. Of course, valuable, but I don't think people probably think it's like jewelry or something, but this is what's going on with some of the food shipments. How can we best address this issue? And I think I'll ask you that as well, Mr. Pugh. Thanks.
Well, I would just say thank you for your leadership and co-sponsoring the Corca bill. You've heard 2 testimonies now in this committee as well as in Judiciary Committee, and we're very excited that you all are taking the time to really shine a spotlight on this issue. We need federal leadership in concert with state and local and in partnership with our industry. We have all got to collectively come together if we're to put a stop at this practice. This is a lot more advanced than what we were seeing 10, 15, 20 years ago. As long as trucks have been on the road, there's been theft. I mean, hit and run type things. What we're seeing now is transnational organizations operating out of Eastern Europe, Russia. They're hacking into the bill of lading. Sometimes when the truck is in motion, driver sees it come up, the drop changes. They think it's legit because it's the company. By the time they drop the load and figure out what just happened, it's long gone. This is very advanced type of practices that we really need coordination with DHS, DOJ, with our states and local government and industry. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Mr. Pugh.
Yes, and we need, FMCSA needs the power to go after these folks and the oversight as well, and truckers need a place and brokers as well to report these kind of things. We get calls on a daily basis, OOIDA, where drivers are taking loads and they get the load, they deliver the load, and it's a fictitious broker. The broker's pretended to be someone else. I know brokers are dealing with the same thing with truckers. Trucking companies are getting their identities stolen. It's too easy for trucking companies to sell their identity, and it's much too easy to get into our industry in the first place. That's where this all starts.
Yeah.
As I've said in a past hearing, you can take someone off the street who's never even been in a truck or seen a truck, and in a month and a half, they can be a full-blown truck driver and motor carrier. That's insane. That's insanity. To be a broker, you post $75,000 bond and you're a broker. Okay. We've got to start at the beginning, stopping these folks.
All right. One of the things that this kind of plays into is just workforce retention and supply chain, and that means ensuring that crucial careers like trucking receive good wages. My grandpa started out delivering and pulling a wagon, ended up as a miner. But we know, Mr. O'Brien, we know that unions ensure that truck driving not only keeps workers with good wages, but also makes it safer. Talk about this as the need to keep our drivers there in the long term.
Well, I think it's continuity of the workforce. I mean, you take companies like UPS where you can go to work as a part-timer unloading trucks at 18, you become 21, you can go out on the road, deliver a package, your earnings go up, you're accruing credit for your health and welfare pension, and then when you get enough seniority, you get the ability to drive tractor trailers. There's a path to a career here, and that path to a career is your wages being the highest, you have the best health benefits, and have a retirement that you can retire with respect and dignity. You look at ABF, you look at T-Force, you look at a lot of regional carriers that we represent. There is 10 to 15% turnover ratio, not because of low wages, not because of benefits or anything else, and that's proven. I mean, we have statistics that prove it, and I think the higher standards that are set, especially working under a collective bargaining agreement, is going to help retain drivers. That's why it's important. And I mentioned earlier, we've got a bipartisan bill with Senator Hawley and Senator Buchter requiring the Fair Labor Standards Contract, where you can organize without any threats of retribution, retaliation, and there's a mechanism to get to a first contract through binding arbitration.
Okay, very good.
you.
Thank you. Enjoy working with you, as you know. Last question, Mr. Ferguson. I weirdly just got a text from Charlie Zelli. Do you know he used to head up Jefferson bus line?
Absolutely. He's a strong member of ours.
Right, and then became the head of our transportation. He was transportation commissioner, did a great job, and now at our Met Council, he's just announcing, I don't know, well, I'll tell you about it later. Okay, so the FMCSA, the Passenger Carrier Division, can you speak to the impact, this was in your testimony, that low staffing has on motor coach operators and how important this is? Different version of the question of Mr. O'Brien.
Yeah, my testimony recommends that prioritizing staffing at the passenger carrier division is a huge priority. The interaction that our staff has with their staff is ongoing and daily, typically. You know, understanding what's the operational reality of this regulation or that new requirement is very helpful for the regulators to understand what is it like on the roads and on the ground, and vice versa. For us to have a better understanding of intent, desire, outcomes, it can allow us to better communicate and share with our membership what's happening, what's coming, et cetera. So having more points of contact, more partners, we host a variety of webinars, in-person safety briefings, having speakers, engagement, that cross-coordination is a huge part of our success.
Okay, thank you. I'm done, but I will ask in writing, Mr. Spear, some questions about distracted driving. I have this big priority of mine and really, really important. So maybe we can have another hearing on that at some point, but thank you.
Senator Markey.